Hello, everyone. Jesus, first words out of my mouth, and I'm so sick. I'm tired of talking already, and we can't even make it a sentence through this show. I might cough into the mic. I might,
I already assaulted my mic, so that's good.
You did? How'd you assault your mic?
Yeah, I hit it. I hit it on my way down from the
Look,
stupid wave. I don't know why. It was me and Zeke over here waving.
Look, back in the day, this show was all about helping young new streamers and giving them all the info on what to do. So we'll get you situated. Don't hit your mic. Rule number 1 of streaming.
I'll do my best. I'm still gonna hit it though.
Don't do it.
Oh,
you're not. Don't hit it. It's not good.
Sorry, dude.
Yeah. Welcome back. I guess you've been welcomed nonstop for what, the past week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that.
Yeah, it's been a ball, man. I mean, honestly, I haven't seen any real like super trolls in my chat. I haven't hit that wall yet.
Okay.
But it's been so much kindness. So many people coming back. There's people who may have been not so great back in the day, been like, "Hey, you look good now." So all the fat jokes
I guess
are
I'm
out
gonna
the window.
watch you.
Yeah, this is nice.
You're pleasing to the eyes now.
The backhand is the best backhanded compliment. Like after you cut your hair or shave or something, it's like, "Oh, you look good now." Like I fucking cave troll before. What the fuck? Why didn't anybody tell me?
Yeah,
so hurtful.
That's how that goes. Well, you do look good now. I will say, you know, I'll go. I'll follow up on that. What are you? Is this a diet? Are you working out? What, all the above?
Both. So people ask what I did, and it's like complete 180 of all of my habits. You know, because I'd spent the vast majority of my career slinging steaks and beers and snacks and all the crap, which is fine if your body can handle it. Mine was done handling it for a long time. And I just woke up one day and I was like, all right, I want to be able to keep up with my son. So I'm going to just change everything all at once. So if you do it halfway, you won't see progress. But if you just slam those nuts in the door, and because that's what you do, that's how you lose weight. Don't tell anybody that.
Okay.
That's how you get. That'll do it.
I'll go. Yeah. I'll test out during the break. I'll let you know if it works. Is that from the running afterwards, or just the? What's the process there? Let's get into it.
For slamming the nuts? That was a joke.
No. This is all real. We don't joke on this show, Goth. No joke.
Warframe does not condone slamming your nuts in any systems. Please do not do that.
Do not slam your nuts in any systems.
Is that what that wall video thing tells you to do?
I think so.
Like, all right, now 20 jumping jacks. Now slam your nuts in the wall. Like, wait a minute, what?
Jesus.
Do it. Okay, wall guy.
That's true.
That's going to be the follow-up to Fall Guys, by the way, is Wall Guy.
Wall Guy?
Just one singular Wall Guy. Yep, that's it.
Do you play the Wall Guy from Mario? Is that what are those called?
Thwomps?
Is that a thwomp?
Or those are the guys that fall. Is
the
thwomps
are the one that falls. What are the ones that fall forward?
Like the guy who falls forward and goes,
what the hell is that guy called?
I don't remember.
Is that a cousin of the thwomp?
The thwomp?
Well, I know the little ones are called thwimps.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, there's thwomps and the little ones are thwimps. And then
womps?
I think
they're
just womps, yeah.
Okay.
It might be, they're just not on a singular vertical track. Womps, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Never had to think about that.
Whatever.
Never had to think about that.
Which I don't know. I don't know if that's proper anymore. I think you call them concrete Americans or something like that.
God damn it, Zeke.
I know, I'm sorry. I was trying to make a joke and I kind of
all right, hold on, guys. Let me count us down here. We're going to restart the recording and delete that portion of the VOD.
Okay, great.
Here we go.
Excellent.
In 5, 4. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Drop Frames. We've got a brand new streamer here by the name of Gothalion.
Welcome, Goth, to the show. Good to see you.
Welcome.
Hi.
Glad to have you here.
Good to be here and to not be starting over this VOD.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the first take. Zeke, your mic's, we've turned. I think you're having some issues there, Zeke. We'll unmute you here in just a bit. Jesus. Zeke, how you been, by the way, past week?
I've been good. I've been really good. I'm honestly I'm seeing all the pictures from Amsterdam from TwitchCon.
Yeah.
And I'm living in Jellytown. I'm the mayor of Jellytown. I fucking love TwitchCon, man. And we being Katie and I decided that we're gonna give it another year before we, do any major con traveling and stuff like that because of, we just don't want any sort of even a little tiny black cloud like hanging over like a vacation that we take due to COVID or whatever. So
yeah,
we're gonna give it one more year and then like we're just gonna go nuts in 23.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Good call.
Makes sense.
JP, are you recently sick with like, is it the vid?
No, I don't have first. I don't know how. I keep getting these fucking colds. I don't leave the house.
Yeah.
My wife leaves the house. My wife's actually traveled a ton in the past year.
Has Aaron had it?
No one in this. The only person that's had
Miracle.
it is the kid. The kid got it in Christmas of 2020.
Okay.
And they got it from their dad. And so they stayed at our house. Then we realized they had COVID. And so we were quarantined for like 4 weeks through Christmas and New Year's. So that was great. That was a really fun time of just like walking into the living room, seeing your wife both wearing masks, like, cool, it's nice to see you. I'll check in tomorrow. We just retreat to our rooms. It was
You ever seen that older movie, The Boy in the Bubble or whatever?
Yes.
I think it was John Travolta. Yeah.
That's
gotta be like harsh, dude.
Yeah.
It's like waving at your family that you normally, hug, and
it was awful. Yeah, I do not recommend. But luckily
my wife
we've
had
not
it
caught
on Christmas this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this recent year. Yeah, that was a ball.
Yeah.
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 I think everybody but me and Brad have had it in our household.
Okay.
So,
all right.
fingers crossed.
I've gotten lucky. That's just every time I get sick, I'm like, well, finally happened. I don't leave the house, but it finally happened. No, it's just random cold, which is what I have right now. So I have seen a ton of streamers though that have just gotten it. Like a bunch of people are sick this past month.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been seeing that.
I'm curious to see what happens. Zeke, you were talking about TwitchCon. I'm curious to see what happens after, right? Like, is it going to be a super spreader?
It's probably going to be a super spreader. I mean, I went to GCX this year, and I would say probably half of the creators went and got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and avoiding the vid's tough if you're going to a con. Is VidCon still a thing, or did they rebrand because they're smart?
VidCon's a thing still. That happened a couple weeks back, three weeks.
Oh, was
back?
it?
Yeah, it was pretty recent. Yeah, I don't know.
Was that a super spreader event?
I don't know. I didn't. Most of there's not too many like Twitch streamers that go there, so no one on my feed that I saw was talking about it. That caught it there, but we'll see in about a week. What
about a week.
TwitchCon EU, how that went.
Yep.
So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Co, everything good in your neighborhood?
Chugging along, man. Yeah, trying to avoid people in general, but that's pretty par for the course for me.
As you should. Yeah, people suck.
Yeah. So we're pretty good there. Still very, very on the fence about TwitchCon here in the States coming later this year.
Yeah,
probably not. I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat Zeke is, where it's just kind of like, if it's the kind of thing where if I were to go to something like that, get COVID, and then bring it back to my family, it's just like, that's one of those things where it's just past you has no excuse for future you, where it's just, so it's tough though, man. Cause I really miss going to those. Like, and dude, the Amsterdam TwitchCon looks like it's been a lot of fun. They had some great announcements. We can talk about those in a little bit. Some of the stuff we've been asking for years got announced there. Super cool. Makes me wonder what they got for NA TwitchCon this year. But yeah, it's just kind of chugging along, man. Waiting for the September releases to start and get going.
Kind of in the dead zone for sure. I think some games are coming out this week though. At least
there's some DLCs. Titles.
Yeah,
there's the Forza Hot Wheels
thing
DLC. Yeah,
if you want to check that out, go.
Oh,
maybe.
I might jump in.
Great.
That's the one that made Forza look like Trackmania, really. Like,
yes,
which looks awesome.
Yeah,
like, I'm kind of there for that. That may be something we check out.
The map that they made for it is wild. It's like 3 different like themed islands with like just a spider web of tracks.
It looks crazy.
Yeah,
we'll see. I think is that Tuesday, Goth, or Thursday?
I think so. I think that's Tuesday. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and then there's also like Live Alive or Live a Live, which is that old Square JRPG that never came out here in the States. I think that's getting released this week. But and then Stray, the cat game. All right, is anyone gonna check that out? Anyone playing the cat game?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna try it out. It comes out in 2 days, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what. I'm curious what that game actually is.
I'm gonna be honest. It looks boring.
Yeah.
It looks like I mean, what do you call a walking simulator? If you're, I guess it is still a walking simulator. You're just a cat instead of a person. But
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a walking simulator with super light puzzle elements. So it'll be interesting to see if it actually is.
Walking simulator.
That's probably
Hey,
accurate.
JP, restart the
That's
show.
good.
Man,
No, that's that's good. Keep that one. That one's fine.
This joke stays. All right, look. It's always guest role here, so it stays. We're keeping it
Stays?
on. Yeah, we're keeping it on. It's staying.
You're lucky. You're lucky, Goth.
Yeah. Listen, Goth saved you. Remember this. Everyone gets
Very good.
a couple. I don't know how
Dude,
many.
and
I
I'm
don't know
sure
what his limit is.
everybody's made that stray joke about like their personal experience with the cats. So the first thing I thought of was like, oh, you get to play as a cat. The last cat I lived with, like, was the most annoying, like, fighting, terrible, like, antagonistic fucking cat that I've ever been around. And like it would wait until exact moment, no matter what time it was. Sometimes it was at 2 a.m. Sometimes it was at like 3:15 a.m. when I'd fall asleep. The exact moment when I hit that dream,
Yeah.
just scratching on the fucking walls. So that's the game for me. Like that's what I heard of when I said cat simulator. Oh, okay. So it's going to just piss on the carpet. The game cartridge smells like ammonia. So that's a step in the right direction.
Exactly.
And it's gonna you're gonna fall asleep playing it, but as soon as you do, it's gonna fucking scratch on the walls or jump on your fucking chest.
That's the idle animation for the cat, as it just does obnoxious things against all the robots. I don't think there's humans in that game. I think that's part of the plot. Anyways, those come out this week. I was talking with Barry. He's not here this week. Barry's kind of our tech guy for those that don't know. He's at TwitchCon EU. I asked him how it was. He said it was fine. He said it was better than the one that happened 3 years ago. I think that was 2019 was the last one. But he said, like, you know, all the improvements are there. It was a good con. From the like streams that I saw of people walking around, it didn't look that crowded. I don't know if you guys checked out any of the streams, but it didn't seem like
Which makes sense.
Yeah, like there wasn't.
I think a lot of people are in the boat me and Zeke are in, where it's kind of like we're just not quite ready to travel yet. So
yeah,
that makes sense.
I think the convention industry as a whole is going to see like pretty low numbers for at least the next, probably 5 years or so.
Agreed.
Yeah. I would agree with that. We'll get into the news first. Let's spend some time with Goth. Goth has been on a whirlwind tour of streaming platforms.
It's been a time.
It's been couple years.
An experience. Yeah.
Let's when was the first one? Let's talk about your journny. I guess when was Mixer?
October 2019 was Mixer. End of October.
Okay. How like I should have asked this before the show, but whatever. How deep can we go? Like, what was that conversation like? What was it? What was the courting process? Was it like, hey, we'd love to have you come over to Mixer? Like, how'd that go?
We could go pretty deep. Okay. I'll be able to filter myself.
Cool.
If need be.
Yeah. What was the process then? How did they just say, hey, here's a bunch of money, and you're like, okay, that sounds good to us.
No, that process started in 2017.
Really?
I started talking to Mixer very early 2017. Because I knew like one of my goals was to try to land a platform deal, because I was at like a point in my Twitch career, and I think all of us have felt it, where like burnout feels very prevalent.
Sure.
You know, you're not sure when your expiration date is going to come. There's a lot of like fear of lasting. That's kind of like ever present.
Right.
So I was like, man, a platform deal would be incredible to take some of that like strain, stress off. So that was something I started aiming at probably 2-3 years out from when I first went to Mixer. JP's doing his lyric impression right now. It's really good. No cam. So that process started pretty early. I started talking to them. The initial offers were not really something that I was super interested. So we kind of put a pin in it until I think it was like 4 or 5 months out from when I actually made the platform swap. I knew that I knew that with Twitch, you have to give them 90 days notice before the end of your contract. And the end of your contract back then, I don't even think it was on the dashboard. Like you had to like go through the email and find the contract and see when it ended.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it automatically re-upped for 2 years. And if you went to another platform, there's like a whole breach. So that was like first and foremost, I wanted to make sure that if I did a platform deal, it would be like done right. So like at a time when my Twitch contract was ending, you know, I had already gone through all the necessary lanes to make sure that that ending process was done like correctly without stepping on feet or breaching contracts or doing anything illegal. So yeah, that's kind of when that started, and something that I kept contact with him for a long time, like a lot of reasons. So
Yeah. And
now you don't have to go just real quick. You don't have to go into like details or say any numbers or anything, but I'm just curious, like when you were thinking about this, did you have a number in mind? You're like,
yeah,
this is my number that I will leave for.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean like I was pretty forward with chat. I was like I won't leave the platform unless I make whatever the peak of what I made over Twitch times 3 for 5 years. So that was kind of the number that I had in my head. Like if I went to come back or whatever, or something happened while I was gone, like and my career was over, like I wouldn't be effed, you know? So
let's like I just need to break it down for me, the not math whizzes here. So if the number was 1,000, you would leave, like the highest you were doing was 1,000 a year. Does that mean like you would leave for 5,000 for 3,000 for 5 years?
15,000. Highest times 3 over 5 years. So if it was, it was probably, so if you made $1,000 in a year, you would want 3,000 per year for 5 years. So 15 grand.
Okay.
So 15 times what the highest month would be, probably.
Yeah. So then like consider I was gone for 3 years. It's a condensed. So yeah. I mean, it wasn't a small sum. I wasn't even sure if it was going to happen, but you kind of like want protections.
Yeah.
You know? So that was like first chapter of it. Headed over to Mixer, and I actually really liked Mixer. I liked Mixer a lot, but Microsoft doing what Microsoft does, you know, I feel like they pulled the plug when it wasn't turning profits like early, even though there was like platform growth, and there was. And it was a really cool community too.
Zoom, man. That shit was way better
Dude,
than
yeah, absolutely.
Hold the plug on it. It was a great item.
Yeah, I mean, like any big business, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, if it looks like a new project is not going to turn a profit quickly, they're just like, all right, let's just shelf it and we're done.
Yeah,
kind of thing. Yeah, so they do a lot of that wet spaghetti where they throw a bunch at the wall and whatever sticks is cool and what doesn't slides down.
Let's I want to jump back kind of before the move. What I think you talked about the idea of like burning out and the idea of peaking and like securing a future for both yourself and kind of your family and everything. When it came to like when you knew, right, when you're like, all right, this is gonna happen, what were your thoughts on like your community on Twitch and like the idea of leaving? Was that like one of the hardest aspects of it?
It's tough because you don't know how people are going to respond. You know, I think like your closest community members or people who have been around a long time will, because I was never secretive about like if that would happen. I think the majority of our understanding, you don't know how many people are very platform specific. You know, like everybody has their preferred platform, and you know that's definitely part of this conversation. But yeah, it was scary. I mean, like I started my career here, and you know if I have anything to do with it, I'm going to finish it here too. But yeah, it was definitely very nerve-wracking. I mean, it's like, you know, like if you switch a job, if you get a job somewhere new, first day is scary. Leaving with your box from the office is scary.
Yeah.
So, but obviously it's a lot more personal here because there's people, you know, there's people you develop relationships with over the years. And, you know, you don't know how they're going to react to you making a business move like that.
Speaking of that, were you surprised, prepared, whatever, by how many people followed you from one platform to the next?
No, so like transplant rate from Twitch anywhere else is always bad, but
Sure.
from
Sure.
anywhere else to Twitch is always fantastic. From Twitch to Mixer, I think I lost about 50 to 75% of my average concurrence, which was not surprising. But then the channel was growing on Mixer. Like I started, like this is gonna jump timeline a little,
That's
but in
fine.
the 9 months I was on Mixer, I had more brand and channel growth than 2 years on Facebook gaming. So that 9 months there was actually like legitimate brand growth, SEO, recognition, on a Microsoft platform. And I think that there definitely could have been more there, but obviously they pulled the plug.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about how many came with. Yeah.
That sounds about right. That seems from everything that we've witnessed from just different streamers going places.
Mm-hmm.
Those numbers track. What about like your you always see these. How do I phrase this? Because now you're back on Twitch, so obviously you're not
Mhm.
going to say anything like too bad. when people leave Twitch, there is some sense of like attitude or like a snippy or quippy comment that they'll put on Twitter regarding
Sure.
Twitch and them leaving. What was your like
Right.
relationship with Twitch when you left? Were they like congratulations? Good luck?
I mean, yeah, like internally there was like, people were happy for me.
Yeah.
I think Twitch as a company as a whole, I think when you're inside, it's easy to sit here and be like, okay, well, this is XYZ they're doing wrong. And, somebody out there's got to be doing it better, So I'm not sure that I had a bad relationship or like a bad feeling, but like I said, I was like at that burnout feel, where like
Sure.
little things can get you, like looking back then, I was very bothered by trolls. Like it was just constant. Like some days are hard and people are rude and that sucks, thick skin, all that.
Yeah.
But now after spending 2 years in an echo chamber, and I love the people who are with me on fb.gg, but you're like the nicest, sweetest, loveliest people. And winning doesn't feel good if there's not a loser, and winning doesn't like you can't have a hero without a villain. There was no contention in chat. Like I rarely had to like even have a back and forth with somebody on like a disagreement or like someone coming at me. And it's like
That kinda
weird to say it,
sucks.
but like I started missing the trolls, and the
Yeah.
people who were with us on Facebook will attest that it's like I was saying, man, I miss the fucking trolls, dude. I don't know. I love all these people. Like they're great, awesome people, but you need at least one jerk, It's just
I
that
made
kind of
mine mod.
contention, Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, that's wonderful.
See, that's one thing that I realized I would never survive on Facebook. I actually keep my youth by feeding on the blood of trolls.
Mhm.
So I mean, I would probably
Yeah.
be just gray lined and just salt and pepper all over the place. If it was, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
I can't really imagine that. Like I guess comparing like mixture, we can do a little bit of like chat comparison.
Mm-hmm.
I think the number one thing that at least we always say is like Twitch has the community, right? Like
Yeah.
Twitch has you can't buy community like a lot of sites
Right.
have been trying to do
Yep.
by getting
Mhm.
bigger streamers. Comparing like Twitch to Mixer to Facebook, you've kind of already done Facebook a little bit. What would you say, like, what is that comparison? Mixer obviously doesn't exist anymore, but what was that comparison, I guess, for
Mixer was closest.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mixer still like the streamer community on Mixer was still there's a
That
lot of
always
like
seems solid.
directory interaction. Yeah, it was solid. Like everybody, like there was the mentality of rising tides, raise all ships kind of thing. And there's like a handful of bad apples, but the vast majority of everybody who was on that platform wanted to see the other people on that platform do well, so that was cool. But yeah, like obviously what the kind of like community feel and vibe that Twitch has doesn't completely translate, but I think Mixer was closest to being blue Twitch, so the difference between the Mixer and Facebook is like your real name's there, so like everything changes, when your real name's there, or like your grandma can like when I go offline, my stream became a VOD and your chatting became a comment that Grandma Lois can now see on her timeline.
Oh, on
like you
on a
would just show
Facebook
up.
video, it would show up as like a comment.
Yeah, it would just show up. So like if you followed someone, then like all the bullshit that they're saying would just be in chat. And that's weird. Like we're gamers. We're like super bizarre people. Like, and a lot of us are like kind of messed up. I'm kind of messed up. And
They're all kind
in
of messed
turn,
up.
my chat's a little messed up too, because why else are they watching me?
Yeah.
So like you're just gonna like
honey, it's
filter
grandma.
all of that.
What's an ass goblin?
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, people would then just filter what they say on there, and that's why I think like that's something I think needs a change on that platform, because then it's like it's not that like organic dumb bull crap. Like some of the best content I see on this website is just dumb stupid things that people then spin into a bigger dumb stupid thing that's super entertaining, and that's great. That's the community that's here, is embracing of bullshit.
Sure. Yeah. Cool. What were you laughing at?
I was just thinking about like the second all this stuff gets turned public and you just see like one person say booba, and it's just followed by like 10 comments of older people with like question marks and like what's this, and then again grandma comes on, why is 69 so nice, what is going on, why is everyone saying it's good? Oh my
I turned 69 8 years ago. It wasn't that nice.
Yeah. It is kind of true. Like looking at chat logs, it's kind of strange. Some of the shit that we say as a community.
Yep.
Oh, it's
as the boos fill my chat. Yeah.
Well, it's wild. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, no, you go ahead.
You're the guest
battle. You're the guest.
Okay, I'll go ahead.
On Facebook gaming, what the shit?
No, and then like so here, like somebody says something stupid, chat's gone in 5 seconds. Basically, I mean, obviously there's chat logs, but
or it gets purged out.
Yeah, or it gets purged. But there, it's like it's there forever. So like I don't know. It's a whole thing. That's a lot
There's
of
something to be
we
said about
jumped
that,
around the timeline a bit, but yeah.
There's something to be said about that though, being able to like put it away, not have to like have it immortalized. Like you can go back and look at chat logs and stuff like that if you hate yourself, I guess. But just for me, like not having that, I just brought something to my like mind, like how bad would that be if I had to like look at something that either I said on stream or said in chat like over and over again, and have it like quoted by my family or closest friends and shit like that, just nonstop.
Yeah.
It does happen from time to time, but God, that's got to be way worse that it happens like so frequently that you have to look at shit over and over again that you've already done.
Right. Not a good time. Jumping back to Mixer, we are all over the timeline. I apologize.
Yeah, it's good. No, it's cool.
With Mixer, like, how did that end? Did you know? Because it kind of like, if I recall correctly, no one really knew. It just kind of happened, and then people were like, "Oh, well, I got to figure this out." Like, how did that go down when Mixer closed shop? What was that process for you?
Early July, I got in touch with early June, I got in touch with my partner manager, and I was like, "Hey, things feel weird. Like communications have been kind of slim. A lot of the features that we talked about coming out, like, just kind of disappeared. And it's weird." And they're like, "Nah, everything's cool." And then a week later, they're like, "We should have a talk." And I was like, "Oh, cool, good." And this was 4 days before Mixer shut down.
Okay.
Because and they had to talk to me because contractually they had to,
yeah.
Yeah, so this is 4 days ahead of time. I found out that they were closing shop, and they told me that that basically they were partnering with Facebook Gaming. And if I chose to go over there, then that would be a new deal with Facebook. And based on the contract that I had with Microsoft, and it's the same for, like Shroud and Ninja. But basically it's like a doomsday clause where if things go belly up, then they have to square away with you.
Yeah.
So I found out like 4 days ahead of time. I had to handle all of the exiting contractual stuff. During those 4 days, I was also negotiating with Facebook because they basically wanted like one of their platform deal people to go over to Facebook Gaming, and because they were like offering
like
partnership to all the Mixer people. Yeah, show good faith.
Yeah.
So I ended up being, because I know that Tyler and Shroud both said no. They're
Right.
like, we're going back to Twitch, or they shopped around. So basically they did like this town hall where they were telling all the partners, and then I had to speak at it as part of like me going over to Facebook, and it was really hard. That was tough.
Join me type deal.
So wait,
As a join, well, I had to. I mean, like, yeah. So basically, they wanted me to be like, join me. But for me, I knew how passionate, and any Mixer partner who was on that call will, attest to how that went down.
Yeah.
But I broke down during it, like thanking them for their passion for what they're doing and how important I know the platform was to them. And so I don't know if you've ever like cried in front of a few thousand people, but that was a time to behold.
Sure.
Hopefully no one was recording. I'm sure they were. But yeah, that was a whole thing. And then we made the deal with Facebook, and went over there. So yeah, it was like a 4-day warning that I had.
Jesus Christ, did you sleep at all? I wouldn't have slept. That just seems like insane for a 96-hour period of nightmares.
No, it also like during that time, like my management company was falling apart because I was with OPG.
Oh my God, that happened at the same time?
That happened in the exact same 4-day.
Holy fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
that was during first Twitch contract got signed too. Is when all that went down.
That was during the gamer Me Too moment. So Twitter was like, that was a whole thing. The world was on fire, and then we were just taking care of everything that we could at the same time. So that was something. Yeah.
Not a fun time.
What was it like? During that 4 days, like after the 4 days was done, is that when you like announced you were going, like going to Facebook and stuff like that? When did that happen there?
Yeah. So I think it happened the same day that they announced that Mixer was closing, as I had announced that I was going over to Facebook. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just picturing like the fucking burning house and be like, by the way, I'm going to Facebook.
I mean, I did a final stream on Mixer and said it there. That was the whole thing.
Yeah. I'm still stuck on the 4. I can't believe that was all over 4 days. That's an insane amount of shit. Was that
it was an insane amount of things. Yeah.
In terms of most stressful weeks, days, is that up there for you so far?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine so. That seems like a nightmare. Zeke, you had a question?
Yeah, this is kind of like off of that particular topic, but I was curious as far as like of course if you have Indias or whatever, but how was the relationship between streamer and company, between the three things
on Mixer,
Facebook, like Twitch? Like what are the differences that you noticed?
Oh, okay. I would say that between like Twitch and Mixer, they were very similar, but I mean, like I was acquired talent for Mixer, so it's like you kind of got like special treatment.
Yeah.
But my personal relationship with Microsoft was really good. I had been to out to Seattle a couple times to see them at the Microsoft Studios, and that was cool. Facebook was different. My partner manager was super active. Josh over at Facebook, and he was always really good to work with, and he was like probably one of the strongest like middlemen that I'd seen as far as like partner managers go, because he's like very aware of like the platform's problems and was always super candid, which I always appreciate is when people are candid and honest.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you, when you went to Mixer, like, did you keep up any of those relationships with people at Twitch, or did those just kind of like the less that you worked with them, did it start to slide?
I mean, when I made like basically the decision with myself to come back,
yeah,
it was like December last year, and
okay.
I reached out to Anil.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and Anil was always like my guy at Twitch, who I always reach out to. I don't know how like deep he is with partners anymore, but he hooked me up with the right people and got that conversation rolling, and I really appreciate him for that.
Yeah, he's probably I would say like one of the, if not the oldest partnership person at Twitch that's still around.
That is still doing partnership.
Yeah. I don't know if he's directly involved with creators anyway. I don't know what his title actually is at the company anymore, but yeah, he's been around since, for me, like day one.
He's one of the OG.
Yeah, I've known him for
one of the very, very few OG.
10 years. Yeah, I don't know. Pretty much everyone else. I mean, apart from like the people that run partnerships, I don't know if there's anyone that's older than Anil at the company.
No, I mean, he's OG, man. Like he's seen a lot of the old guard,
maybe Pluto
since then. Yeah, maybe. I think he might be a little bit more senior to Pluto, but maybe.
You're probably right. Yeah, Pluto was like 2013, 2014, and Neil was like 2012, something like that.
Yeah, I think Anil was around when it was still JTV, maybe.
You might be right.
Like, yeah, he was definitely pre-Amazon acquisition.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
Oh no, to answer chat, DJ Wheat has moved on. He is
Wheat's no longer at the company. Yeah, but I like most of the old guard of Twitch are not there anymore. And if they're still there, they're probably leaving or announcing that they're leaving soon, because there's mass exodus, I think, from like everyone that used to work there for sure.
Well, since the old guard's out, maybe Twitch, it's time for some new ideas. How about, I don't know, Twitch Studios, let's call it. Maybe we go they go to like the conventions and stuff, like, and interview people about video games and shit like that. I mean, I'm just spitballing here, but maybe like we need some new ideas to get this fucking Twitch thing going again.
Amazon
wants to make any money. Idea who they could bring in to host something like that?
I got a Rolodex full of names, and it's all the same one.
It's just a whole bunch of Zeeks. You flip through just Zeke.
Yeah, just one giant Z. All the letters have been removed from their Rolodex. That's how that goes. Goth, do you have a what's the phrase, or what's the term I want to put to it? A bigger appreciation for kind of the guts of the industry, how everything works now, going through all this. Kind of like peeling the curtain back a little bit, understanding it a lot more. Or are you less critical of Twitch or any streaming company these days?
I think being critical is still important, but I definitely think there's a grass is greener mentality when like you feel like things aren't great, or like the company's not doing enough. And after experiencing 2 other platforms, I don't have the YouTube Infinity Stone, and I don't think I'm ever going to get it. But I think being on the outside for 2 years and being on like an island, because like Mixer still felt like I wasn't secluded from everything, but Facebook felt like I was very secluded, just because of how either how directories work over there, or just the mentality of it, or just where the industry was at the time.
Yeah.
Like watching from the outside in, like there's people who say like Twitch isn't changing or innovating, but there's like there's always new features. And I basically went 2 years without seeing a new feature or an improvement. So there's definitely a grass is greener thing. The vibe here is so much different. Like you can be very heavily rewarded for your creativity, you know, and there's other platforms that creativity work on, but just from like a live sense, I think like just the audience here just appreciates it so much differently, you know, like, and that's not saying that you can't put out like good content on like Facebook or YouTube and people eat it up, but for me personally, like what I do and how I do it just definitely works better here than anywhere else, you know, and I had opportunity to stay on Facebook, you know, like, and I don't know if that was a question or if I'm jumping ahead, but you know, it was an active decision, you know, like I could have stayed there, I could have had another contract, but I just wanted to come home just for like my mental health, like my happiness, because
Sure.
I just it just clicks better here for me personally.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes
Mhm.
sense. From like the streaming side of things and the tech side of things, what is there anything from Facebook or Mixer that you would love for Twitch to put in there? That seems like a overall yes right there
I
with
mean,
that response.
I loved FTL on Mixer. I don't know if you like got a chance to check out their.
I remember that phrase, but I don't remember the
Mhm.
intricacies of like what that
So
actually.
it's basically sub 1 second delay. And I know like Twitch has definitely lowered their delay since I left. Like it's pretty noticeable. It's only like
yeah.
maybe a second or two, but it was sub 1 second on Mixer. And I think that's hard to scale. But FTL was dope. It delivers different than RTMP, which is what everyone else basically uses. But FTL was super cool. I would love to see like that instant chat interaction anywhere else because it felt so good. It felt like you were just having a one-on-one or one-to-one conversation, you know?
Sure.
With Facebook, I think they're already doing like I think they're doing a few features that Facebook has. Like they have the reply threads that came like a year ago here, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
And still
You don't like
need some
those?
work. No, they're
Yeah.
very poorly implemented.
It's they're hard to
you,
follow.
The problem is they make threads, but they
Mhm.
only ever show the first message in the thread. So if you
Okay,
say,
yeah.
"Hey, what's up?" and I reply to you saying, "Oh, not much." Well, if I reply to you, it'll show your question, "Hey, what's up?" Then if someone
Mhm.
replies to that person, like, "Oh, glad you're doing well," it will show for their initial question the first person saying, "Hey, what's up?" Not the fact that they actually replied to someone else's thing. Then you have to click
Mhm.
to open the thread and see. So, like, for someone at Twitch thought that was a good idea. It's an absolutely horrible, terrible idea that basically ruins the feature.
Yeah.
So, like, it should, if you're going to reply to someone, it should always say what you're replying to, not
Sure.
the very start of the thing every single time, because then it doesn't even make sense most of the time. So,
Yeah.
it's a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah. No, yeah, so I hadn't really thought about it like that because like chat works every day when I start it now. So that's cool.
Wait, so was chat just busted some days? Is that what you're
Dude,
alluding to?
yeah. I mean, some days you'd open it up and it'd be like, well, am I talking to myself for 8 hours? And you
Oh
know,
God.
and you have to, well, because like you know, my contract was like a full works week. It was like 160 hours a month.
Yeah.
And on like when there's dope releases and things work, like that's easy peasy. But when stuff's
There's not.
broke,
Yeah.
then no, that's tough.
It's tough.
I remember there's
Uh,
a big Darkness streamer, or a streamer named Darkness, who streams on Facebook. I think
Mhm.
he's still there. And
Yes.
he, like, I remember there was a few days in a row where he's just like, "Can't stream today because nothing's working. Can't connect. So just gonna play games
Tim's
offline,
been
I
with them a
guess."
long time.
Jeez.
Yeah. No, Tim's great. He's like to me,
He's a
like
good dude.
him and Stone are like poster boy Facebook streamers, and you know, Tim just wants the platform to continue to get better.
Yeah.
And he's got a big heart. So I think he's done really well over on Facebook. Like he is a case in point of like someone who went there, took a risk because he was like I think the first like one of the first Twitch streamers to leave the platform and go somewhere else. And he's just really done well. He's really done well on Facebook. So like while things
great.
might not have gone well for me or for like Variety, like a dude like Tim has really done well and built something cool over there.
Yeah.
He would also be in
Mhm.
in a different boat. Like when you left, you had a very strong, solid foundation. There were literally
Mhm.
like thousands and thousands of people very sad to see you go, kind of thing. So when you came back,
Mhm.
that converted into like Like the amount of times I saw on the first day you were back, hey Cody, did you know the king is back? Did you know the king is back? Like, oh my god, dude. There was like a party in my chat and I was like, go tell him that. Like, go tell the king he's back. Like,
That's
awesome.
yeah.
But it was the kind of thing where it's like, I feel like a lot of streamers that have stayed on the platforms, they wouldn't have that foundation waiting. So it's like it would be a much different decision, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's an
'Cause
interesting.
I hate to say it. I think I speak for a lot of people. When I saw that you were going to Facebook, I was like, shit. 'Cause I don't watch Facebook,
Yeah.
but I
Right.
like watching you.
I respect that. Yeah.
So I was seriously like, shit. So that's why it was even more impactful for me when you're like, yeah, I'm coming back to Twitch. I can watch Goth again.
That's
Yay!
right. Yeah.
Like it was like a lot. It was very good. So
There's a ton of streamers that
Yeah.
went to YouTube that I would watch pretty much every day. I would wrap up my broadcast. Oh yeah, let's tune into this. They went to YouTube. I couldn't tell you how to watch their stream. Like I just have no idea. And I think, that's laziness on my part, but that's the reality. I think for, most people on Twitch, they don't want to leave
nobody
the
got
site.
time to learn a new platform.
They don't want to leave the platform. Yeah.
Yeah,
no time to
I
learn
mean,
it.
like I definitely see and respect that. There's folks that have a platform preference, and that's like you can't fault them for it. I mean, this is a decade in the making of community building and vibes on a platform, and you could say, oh, Twitch chat gets toxic, but they're also
Every chat
incredible.
gets toxic. That's a
yeah,
silly statement.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, JP Code, do you guys have a Facebook? Because I haven't had a Facebook.
No,
Like,
I actually
in,
tried to
I want to
deactivate
say
mine.
like a decade.
Yeah, I don't like Facebook.
I left Facebook back at my old IT job because I didn't like what that platform was. I didn't like how it was making me feel. I didn't like
Yeah.
what it was doing to me. There are, don't get me wrong, all social media in some ways are bad, but I feel like Facebook leans into that. They encourage the type of behavior that I feel like is some of the most negative ways that social media can make you feel. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
I like, my wife uses Facebook. A lot of people I know use Facebook. Like if you use it, the right way, that's cool. But it offers you all the tools to use it the wrong way. It's like a super predatory mobile game for your social life. Except instead of your wallet, it's going for like your psyche.
Wow,
Yeah.
dude, you could put that on the fucking box Facebook,
know, right?
like if they sold it.
But no, it's just I ducked out early. I've always been super public about that. But again, like my wife uses it, and I don't even that's never been friction. Like if you use it right, if you just use it like talk to family, keep up with relatives, stuff like that, totally cool. But if you start using it as like a way to gauge the worth of yourself and your life, and you start finding yourself comparing, and you start finding yourself what aboutism and FOMO and stuff like that, like it gets
Mhm.
dangerous quickly. It gets real dangerous.
Yeah.
That's kind of true
Those
for
reasons you-
all of them.
Yeah,
Those
yeah,
reasons
exactly,
you
exactly.
listed are why I left Facebook. You're like, you can keep up with your family, all of the people you don't see ever. Like,
I'm right there with you. Yeah.
I'm good.
Yep. Back in like the and like 2011, 2010, fan pages were all the rage. I don't know if they still have those on Facebook, but like you would make a like fan page, and
I think they
instead
do.
of,
Yeah.
Okay. Instead of like having people follow your personal account, they would follow your fan page, and then you would just like double post your Twitter to that. And that was the only way that I used Facebook. After that, I never went back. I tried to close. You can't like close your account forever. It's like kind of fucking hard to get off of Facebook.
You could lock
completely.
it or something.
okay.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
nightmare.
All right, get this. I kid you. This is my fun story. So I decided at one point randomly out in the blue that I wanted to delete my Facebook account. Right.
Yeah.
So right before I quit, I was doing my DJ thing. So I had sent out tons of I had hundreds and hundreds of friends of just like industry people, random folks. That was very common in what I was doing.
Yeah.
Oh, what's your name? Okay, cool. Let's be friends. So like a couple years ago, I'm like, okay, I'm going to delete my account. So I go to, I recover my password. I log in to delete it. And it's like, we need to authenticate it's you. So I kid you not. Here's what we did. We're going to give you a group of your friends, a small group, and we're going to send them all a word. And then you need to come back after you've talked to them so we know it's really you. And then you put those 3 words in and we'll delete it. And dude, one of them was my old boss. The last words I said was when I was quitting after they offered me a promotion. Another guy was somebody who I literally never talked to. And the third person was somebody I hadn't talked to from high school for 10 years. And I was just like, you're telling me I need to contact all these
That's
people
crazy.
just to delete my account? Like, are you kidding? Like, I can't even remove this without putting myself in like multiple awkward situations. I don't even know how to contact any of them.
That's wild.
Like,
Did
what
they send it? Did they send this message to them like before they talked to you? They're
no
like,
clue.
we have already sent them a message. Like,
I have
no, that's
no
an
idea.
ex. I don't want anything to do with her. Like,
Yeah.
don't send her anything. What are you
Oh yeah, dude. Or strange family members. Like, I can only imagine how awkward that must have been. But it was they want to do everything in their power to have you not leave. I think my account's still up.
Yeah, I think mine's
And
still like
I know
somewhat
mine
active.
is.
Yeah.
I try to delete it. Are you sure you want to go? Yes, I am. Okay. And then it's like, hey, if you want to reactivate your Facebook account, and I every time I look, I'm like, oh shit, that's right. My Facebook account was a fucking Yahoo email. Like, that's how long ago
Yeah.
this was.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
You're theirs forever. Kind of like me.
Yeah.
We're owned by them.
That's how it goes. Yeah, I think the like fan page or whatever I was referencing, I think that's still active. But it's all like esports photos and shit from 2010, 2009, the yesteryears, as it were. So
Yeah, I had a fan page as well when I was doing a lot of like YouTube videos, VOD content and stuff. I would just double post. You know, remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty much it.
Yeah, that's all it was used for. You mentioned FTL. Was there anything else like streaming platform tech wise that you'd love to see?
You know, bit rates were much higher on Facebook.
How high did they go?
I think you could go up to like 14,000 or something
Wow.
without
Yeah.
it being a problem. I don't know if like unofficially, but I know you could go really, really high.
Yeah.
You know, obviously like YouTube has 1440p, but the bit rate you need for that is like 20K for it to look
Yeah, it looks like
great.
Shit. Yeah,
You know?
grainy and whatnot.
And then I guess pinned messages are coming to Twitch, so
They are, yeah.
yeah, pinned message. I used pinned messages pretty often over on Facebook, so I think that's like the only chat thing.
Sure.
We have
they're
been
bringing
asking
over
for years, like 6 years. We have been asking for pin messages. We thought they trolled us with announcements not a few months ago. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, we'll get to the TwitchCon. Yeah.
I look forward to another thing that people won't read. What game is this? Like, I look forward to that. Like, it's in no less than 3 places. It'll be 4 with a pinned message. What game is? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't read.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I want to, Goth. I want to circle back, and you might be under NDA, so feel free to just dodge the question. You mentioned 160 hours at Facebook was the contractual obligation. Did that have sick days or vacation or anything baked into it, or was it just, hey, you got to stream 160 hours a month? That's it.
Or
rollover
really.
hours, I guess, is another thing.
No, there's no roll. Yeah, there was no rollover. But I will say, whenever something came up, my partner manager worked with me on it, so it wasn't faceless.
Okay.
Like it wasn't like I was just shit out of luck, but there wasn't like an allotment of it per quarter or anything.
Yeah.
You know, I think there was only like maybe 2 months out of the 2 or 3 where I didn't hit that, and I still hit like 150. You know,
Sure.
Because what I would do
games,
if I needed to have a
it's easy.
vacation is I just front loaded.
Right.
You know, I would just front load
That's
a
how it is
month
here,
and do like, friggin' 100 hours in a week and a half or whatever, and then just, coast to the end of the month if it was a weird month or something. But
yeah. It's one of those things where I hope that portion of the contract improves moving forward for everyone. Because 160 hours a month, not a big deal. 8 hours a day, it's standard, right? The idea of no sick days, the idea of no rollover hours, the idea of no vacation time is kind of that's not that, in retrospect, it's not that great. It's a little rough. And I think 160 is on like the low side of most contracts that I've seen.
Oh yeah.
It can go up. I probably shouldn't say this. I know of a partner that has a 240 hour commitment a month.
Wow.
That's absolutely insane.
No vacation, no break
bonkers.
time, no rollover minutes. I know, and like I heard that, and I was like, that's too fucking much.
That's a lot. Yeah.
60-hour
6
weeks.
Yeah.
So it's basically like stream every day for what, 7-ish hours, 7-8 hours every single day.
Yeah,
And that really doesn't leave like a lot of time for
life.
much like
Yeah.
life or like
It's-
your own fitness or whatever.
It's one of those things where if I wonder if that ever got put in front of, like, I don't know, the law, whatever that board is, whatever the legal portion, like that can't be legal.
I mean, with us as independent
Well,
contractors, I don't
yeah.
think so.
But
yeah, I
that-
think they have a lot more.
That would be the
Well,
law.
the difference-
that they're not full employees working
The-
that
you,
much.
you have to remember though. You have to remember sometimes, like it could be the kind of thing where the streamer requested it because they knew that they were
That's
going to have a lot
also
of
true.
time.
Yeah.
It could be the kind of thing where they literally said, "I want as many hours as you will give me." Maybe they even
Yeah.
wanted more than that. So I mean, this is a situation where there's a lot of unknowns. As contractors, it's not the same as a job.
That's
They're
right.
not
Yeah.
they're not forcing them to work that long. They're saying, if you do,
Right.
like, this is what we'll do. So
Mhm.
They've worded
I
it,
think it's a little.
or they've set it up so it's definitely kosher for sure.
And I'm not talking
I'm-
about
I'm
my
sure.
own thing here. I'm just speculating on other things. But I'm assuming that the contracts aren't all or nothing. I would assume that it's not, you don't hit it, you get 0.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
It's tiered.
At
least
for me,
most
you would
of the
be
contracts are
assuming
tiered.
incorrectly.
Really?
Oh, really? Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it was not when it was explained to me. The wording was, this is not an a la carte contract. It was basically all or nothing, and then without going into detail, there was clauses where if I did not deliver upon my end of the bargain, that it would be and this isn't the wording in the contract, but it would have been devastating. So there was definitely, but I'm like,
That'd be
160
awesome if
hours
they put
are
that in the contract, though. Like,
Yeah.
we will
This is
devastate
gonna
you.
Devastate
ruin
you.
you.
You will be devastated. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, like
lawyers just like pinning
other
that
other
in the middle
business
of the night.
contracts.
Devastate.
Yeah.
Underline.
Part of the
I
first
get-
part will
yeah.
face devastation.
I get why they do that. They don't want you to like come in and like just
Half-ass
F
it.
off after
Yeah.
a couple months and they've already invested like whatever. So I get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it was just best to not mess around. Like I always made sure that I was, like anybody who does business, like make sure you do your deliverables kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fulfill the contract. That's
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, no,
Standard.
I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying like
Yeah.
I would like I honestly assumed that like that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
man,
It was do the hours or you don't get paid kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah.
True.
Quick
Hey-
question, or sorry, if you're still on this topic.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I'm curious because
Mhm.
at the time, like Facebook and to a certain extent, Mixer were kind of like, up and coming, like new like platforms. Did they mine you for like knowledge and shit like that about like what can we do? Like fucking, we're trying this. Like help us out, Goth.
No on either, really. It
Okay.
actually I would give feedback, and I don't know like how many different channels it went through, and this was actually for both platforms. Like there was people at Mixer who definitely like would take feedback and be like, this is good. But I don't know what because I know the leadership at Mixer changed in December 2019. It was like 2 months after I got there. And
okay.
that's when like upper leadership really didn't communicate much with myself, Ninja or Shroud. Yeah, so no, like not really. Like there's a lot of features over the past couple years that I've wanted to see happen. I think the only one that I saw go through was a retro directory on Facebook, and that took 9 months of me asking for it. So yeah, I mean, like I feel like a lot of these platforms and I don't know how it is on YouTube, and I really hope that your dudes like Lupo or Ludwig, I hope that they are being used to their fullest over there because
Yeah, they've gone through some employment change. Not those guys, but
yeah,
like Lester
not
Chin
those
left.
guys.
Lester Chin left
But-
this past week, and
First
Wiz
was,
before that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Those guys are a wealth of knowledge, and
Totally.
there's companies in our industry that would pay a lot of money to know what like seasoned streamers know, because right now like live streaming is so good for marketing in general, and like the companies out there dealing with it know frighteningly little about it, you know.
Still,
And it's kind of the same for a lot of the people coming into these streaming platforms to manage them, and like not really taking information from the people that they're paying for, and they should. So
Dude,
hopefully YouTube is. Yeah.
That is astounding, because like that would be like one of the first things. Like, I mean, first things first, acquire a name like that people know, that has a has a platform, has a a following. Second, get the shit. Like, why do you work? Why does this work? Like, tell us. Like, fuck, man. I'm so surprised that they because I'd have like a dedicated person like ask Gothalion about this. No, it's in his contract. He has to answer.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like that would have been like I would have loved to have been pinged for more. You know, I don't think I know like I don't know. I'm not like the smartest guy in the room, but I feel like I've done this long enough to have at least like a little bit of good knowledge on what should be or shouldn't be, kind of thing. You know?
Yeah.
Dude, even the dumbest guy on this show could probably write like a 60-page novella of shit you just would know just from doing it as long as I have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Twitch still like reaches out to partners every once in a while. A lot of it's actually done through partner surveys now, via email. I think like one-on-one conversations happen with partners. I don't know. I have not had one in probably 2 or 3 years, but like when TwitchCon was all the rage in 2018, I think me, Co, and Zeke, and a couple other partners like sat down with people at that event and discussed a bunch of stuff. So I don't know if that's still the case behind the scenes with a lot of the like bigger partners, but yeah, that conversation happens from time to time, and I think it should, right? Like it's definitely important. But the other aspect is now, ever since being bought, Amazon kind of runs the show. So if Amazon wants something done, most of the time Amazon's gonna get that done, and that's just kind of how it is. Regardless,
priorities
of
have
feedback.
also shifted. Like it
Totally.
the bottom lines, the priorities, the goals, I think you could say overall are much different these days. So
yeah,
that of course impacts everything as well.
Yep, absolutely. Well then, I guess to kind of full circle it, Goth coming back. Is there anything that you were like, what the fuck is this?
The new dashboard.
Okay.
The new dashboard I sat in front of, and because now there's like analytics, and that was something I asked for a lot back when, is like I want more numbers. I want more information, you know, and there's definitely a ton of information now. But I mean, feature wise, everything has felt like it works, and it's like, you know, there's a lot new to me after 3 years. But there's no like what the fuck moment where I was like, this is dumb. You know, like if there's anything that's weird, it just seems like it just needs to be tweaked. But no, it's been a lot of fun coming back and having toys to play with, and you know, seeing old faces and new faces and the whole nine. I don't know, nothing, no what the fuck moments for me.
Are you FFZing and BTTVing and 7-Upping, like all the?
I have the BTTV.
Okay.
I don't. What was it? F7 or something?
Isn't it 7?
7 Twitch. I don't. Yeah,
I have all
those.
of them.
I don't.
7 TV. It's 7 TV.
7 TV. Somebody brought that up in chat the other day, and I felt like an old man yelling at the clouds.
7 TV's the new rage.
Like 7 TV.
Yeah,
what is that?
I don't know what that is.
7
Dude,
TV's just the third one.
To a certain age, you're just like, that's enough. Like I went through like MySpace and then Facebook and then Twitter and then Instagram. I was like, nope, that's enough. I'm not doing anymore. Like I'm stopping at Twitter. Like that same thing. I was like, I got better Twitch. All right, I'll get fucking Frank Your Face Z. That's it though. I'm not getting this other 7 bullshit.
7 TV. You can just enable an FFZ. It's just like a click, but.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah. You know, when you turn
too
on
much work.
when you turn on 7TV, you know that someone's using it because their avatar on Twitch, when it says like follow channels, it's animated. They have a little GIF avatar. That's like one of the things that 7TV does.
All right.
Yeah. So if you want to,
I was just told that you don't need the 7TV thing at all because FFZ will do it all if you just turn it on.
That's correct. Yeah, that's what I just said too. You might have heard that.
Just
when
said,
I
I'm
told
sorry.
you that.
I was sitting here looking. I can't find it in my option.
Oh,
So
really? I know it's
what I've
in
been
there because
looking
I
for.
have it enabled.
Okay,
That's too good.
Yeah.
you just search for it.
It should be near the top, like right. If you're
What's
in
an
FFC,
add-on?
it should be right below 7 or right below BTTV turn on.
I could be doing this right now while we're talking about it, but I'm not.
Yeah, just don't. You don't want to
There we go.
overload.
Okay.
You don't want to overload.
Yeah, if you just put
No,
7 in the
that's too
search bar,
much.
and
You know, I'm
add-ons.
still getting acclimated.
Okay.
Yeah. What about? We didn't even talk about this. What about like ads? Were you required to run ads? Like what were the? Can you talk about that? Like at Mixer and Facebook, and now at Twitch. Is there like a? Is that shocking to you or surprising to you?
Ads? No, I mean, well, so that's a multi-layered answer.
Yeah.
When I was on Twitch before, I played 3 minutes of ads once an hour, like clockwork, for years.
Yeah.
And
Just
I'd
in
always,
general.
just in general, and I'd always been a believer that ad revenue is really good, and there's a lot of people that are wasting it. But you have to like set the tone with your community, and they have to be chill with it, and you have to do it in such a way that's not interrupting to content. So that was always me. Anyways, always played ads. Mixer had synthetic ads. Okay.
What does that mean?
Okay.
Let's talk about
imagine
this.
Imagine a world where your viewer base is not large enough to sell ad space really yet, but you're getting there. So yay. But you still want to set up a system for when ads happen and maybe pay out partners. And that's synthetic ads, where based on your concurrent viewership, they would pay you real money for hypothetical ads. So it was like NFTs. All right. So
NFTs, but for ads.
Yeah, but for ads. It's great, right? So so they had synthetic ads.
Was that for like smaller partners? Was that the thinking there to get them like involved in the process? But
that was like everybody, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Huh.
Yeah, everybody got that, or I think, or like most people maybe. But they were dope. I mean, synthetic ads were cool.
Were they just normal ads? Like in terms of the actual?
Never happened. It was no. You're still envisioning a world where ads exist.
Oh.
Yeah, these are imaginary. They're synthetic. They were not real
So
ads.
Mixer was paying out for ads that didn't actually run.
Is that because they couldn't fill their ad inventory? I guess.
And it's so weird that they went out of business.
That's weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they were so partner and community focused that I guess like maybe business wasn't a strong suit, but
they forgot they were running a business. Look, Twitch did it for a couple years too, so I don't blame them.
They were always so dope to their partners though, like Mixer. Like you could like Mixer could be a big meme and people could crap on it, but like the people who worked in the building of Mixer loved their partners and they constantly communicated with them and they were constantly making moves like specifically to benefit like streamers. So whether it was stuff that they were told to do or they came up with their own, they were always trying to take care of their partners. And that was always something that like I made a lot of good friends at Mixer and Microsoft, and I still
that's weird. That sounds a lot like Twitch in the early days. That's strange. And then
It seems like Mixer was super idealistic is what it came down to. Like they wanted more than like the current state of streaming could offer them. They wanted to be really good for their partners, give them everything they wanted, and also make money. But it's like you gotta like there's certain concessions you have to make sure that you're still a stable and profitable platform while also giving so many resources to the partners. So it was definitely a sad day when they announced they were going under. For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Ads on Facebook, circling back to that question, was just kind of like they just happened. It was, I mean, it's an ad platform. That's what Facebook is. Yeah. So
did you have any control over it, or did it just occur?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, like I could hit ads during my stream, but normally didn't. over there, because things would just pop up at random that I had no control of anyways.
Was it full screen takeover ads? Was it lower thirds?
I think it was a lot of banners over there, which is cool. I don't know if there's banner ads here on Twitch
They were
yet,
for a
or how that
while,
works.
but like
Mhm.
they like talked about doing them, and then I had a bunch of viewers saying like, "Oh, weird, it like shrunk." Basically, what happens is it pushes the video up and then takes over the
Mhm.
bottom, and then it would
Okay.
like. But I haven't seen. Okay, Chad is saying they get those a lot now. I haven't seen
Okay.
people talking about it, so they must not
Yeah.
be too
Yeah.
obscure, or no, not obscure, but too
Yeah.
too much, too crazy. But they do exist.
Okay.
Looks like a lot of people are saying they get them. They're not terrible. Some people have never seen it. Ads have ramped up a huge amount over the last month. Yeah, I think that's kind of where Twitch is right now. It's like it has been getting a lot more ad focused, and I think it will only get more and more ad focused, especially as they're starting to
agree.
roll out like this ad incentive
Mhm.
program that we've discussed over the past couple of weeks, just to everyone instead of these like exclusive contracts. So
Mhm.
yeah, turbo's
Still
going
don't
up.
want to even whisper the word turbo
Yeah, go
in
get turbo.
the fear that they'll take it away.
Oh, if anything, they're probably going to start leaning into it a bit more.
Yeah,
The more popular ads are, the more advantageous turbo is for them.
Yeah.
So
Right.
as we've seen them really start leaning on ads more and more in the last couple of years, now we're seeing turbo make its way into front page areas where you can actually see it and click on it without having to go down 10 clicks worth of stuff. So I think hopefully Twitch is starting to get to a point where we're going to kind of see a light at the end of the tunnel in terms of all these things they've been trying over the last couple of years, and but who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, a lot of it requires their partners and their streamers to have an open mind to hitting the ad button. Because like that's where the majority of their revenue comes from. Like they bleed on Twitch Prime. That's just loss.
yeah,
And I don't know. Like I said, I was never against ads as long as you do it right. But yeah, I could definitely say that Twitch is probably going to be going in a direction to continue incentivizing that
Totally.
and to make it a
Yeah.
larger part of the structure here for folks.
I was. I guess I have to be careful. The ad rates that a lot of contracts that a lot of streamers are on are 1, 2, and 3 minutes. Some of the things that I saw this past week were 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Mhm.
So they're, if anything, doubling up on the amount of ads that these contracts are
Interesting.
going to look like.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's not what chat wants
I
to hear.
Twitch
can't
Twitch
really-
2113. So here's the deal: you run 59 minutes of ads an hour and make one
Yeah.
really solid minute of content. We'll give you $15.
Yeah.
I can't really speak as to what the requirements are for
Right.
me from ads personally.
Right.
It's not too much for me from where I stand. I do like that, and I don't think this was a thing, but it turns off your pre-roll ads
Yep.
now, which is great when you hit the ad button.
For like 45 minutes or something of the hour, right? I think is what it is.
Yeah, so if I play 3 minutes, it turns it off for like 33 minutes or something.
Okay.
Something like that, or 30 minutes, whatever. And that's cool. I like that a lot because then I can plan my breaks. And when I come back, someone who comes in the channel like 8 minutes later might not be hit with something random. So like back in the day, I know when I hit 3 minutes of ads, they would tank viewership for a bit.
Yeah.
And then it would like trickle back. But I've noticed the build back now is a lot quicker when I come back. I've also started doing a thing where when I get up, I have a scene on OBS that is all 90s video game and snacks and restaurant commercials, like all those old nostalgia
Yeah.
dripping commercials. And I'm like, you're getting ads or you're getting ads. So that's been fun, like having a cool
Nice.
be right back screen, I think is very valuable for anybody who's going to play ads on their channel. So, if you're not doing that yet, take notes, do it.
Yeah.
Dude, that
Yeah.
is honestly like a fantastic idea, and I'm sad it took this long to even think of that, because that's like one of the reasons why I like going to the Alamo Draft House, like for like a series or so, or the next like Star Wars movie and stuff. They play all those nostalgic like commercials and shit, and like you don't mind watching those because you're like, I remember that.
Yeah,
that's the secret to ads is make them fun, right? make them adfotainment.
I didn't even twinge on it when I was doing because I recently played a Sega Saturn game. I had to buy a fucking Sega Saturn, and I got the CD and all that shit, and then like in between breaks and stuff, we played the old Segata. Oh god, whatever his name is, but Segata, and it was like these Japanese commercials, and they were just fuck. I never seen them before. They're fantastic.
Yeah,
Sanshiro Segata, Sanshiro. That's right.
There you go. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, that's kind of all the questions I think I had. Zeke or Co, anything else, or Goth, anything that you just want to speak on or comment on?
I mean, for me, it's just good to be back, man. And the Twitch community as a whole has been very kind, very welcoming. And I didn't really have any expectations when I made the decision to come back. So it's just been cool, man. It's just, I'm just vibing and having a good time and appreciating everything that Twitch is, instead of, how when I left, I was just like kind of, I don't know, focusing on the wrong stuff about the platform that bothered me. Perspective's important. I'm 3 years older now, which time makes a difference. I don't think any of us are the same people we were pre-pandemic, but
no, that changed everything.
It's been a time. It was just the right time. I feel very much calmer and happier, and it's just been fun just like streaming and interacting with everybody again, because it is different here than everywhere else.
Yeah.
Would you say like now that you're back on Twitch and you've had like we've had like good solid contracts, you made a bag, we'll just say. Would you say like now that you're back on Twitch, like where on the scale of like relaxed to like driven are you?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I definitely feel relaxed. It feels different because like, obviously monetarily the last 3 years of adventures have been really good for me. But creatively, I feel like I was kind of like in a box a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. What was the core of the question again? I went off on a tangent. Yeah. You ever do that? Like you're just
all the time. That's my whole
Absolutely.
stream, dude.
Yeah. That's a show in a lot of ways.
Fucking A. No, I just wondering if you had to like fall on a side of I'm more relaxed or I'm more driven.
Okay, yeah, that was the one. No, I definitely feel relaxed, but I mean, it's kind of like column A, column B.
Yeah.
I knew that coming back that I needed to not fall into old habits. Like when I'm off stream next month, I need to not check my dashboard kind of stuff. And I don't know if I'm going to fall back into that stuff. I don't want to. I definitely feel more relaxed than back then.
That shit's mega addicting.
This is
That's
month
the psyche
one.
game of Twitch, where Facebook has its own psyche sucking game. That's Twitch's psyche sucking game, is getting too into those numbers.
Yeah.
Yep, getting too into those numbers. But I think I definitely want to say I'm more relaxed. But still focusing on making content plans and positioning, like those classic, these are the things that are important. Talk about what's coming up. These are the list of games we're doing, because when people are looking forward to a thing, they're more likely to come back. I want to see brand growth. I'm not like going to be lazy, basically. Kind of column A, column B. Yeah.
Well, it's also important to mention, and like this is it, the way that Zeke phrased the question. I completely see where he did it, but at the same time, it's almost like those aren't mutually exclusive things. You don't have to be one or the other. So it's like you can be like, I would see it more as you could be relaxed and driven, or you can be stressed and driven.
Yeah.
Like you can do that kind of thing. You can like, and I think go ahead. Go ahead.
That's why I brought up the idea, like the money, like if someone said like, here's a fat stack of cash, you fulfilled your contract, but you still have that fat stack of cash. Like for me personally, it would be like, fuck, that just like takes the stress out of the equation
Yeah.
completely. And I just be like, I love streaming, and I did it when I did it when I made zero money, and I would continue to do it if I made zero money. But like, I wouldn't stress out about it as much as I do now because, like, I mean, I'm fine financially, but I still got to work. But if I had a bag, like to fall back on, that's always in the back. Like, I don't have to work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's more perspective on the question. I mean, with 3 kids, like I'm never gonna stop thinking about like what a good financial move is, There's that driving force. And just because I've seen just like how unpredictable not only like what we do, but like how unpredictable the world is. Like I've joked with Sam. I'm like, if stuff goes to shit, let's go to New Zealand, and like jokingly, but maybe not jokingly. There's hobbits there. They have rings. It seems safe.
Yeah.
So
GGG's there. You can play some PoE.
Dude, I thought that
Yeah, that'd be
fat guys
great.
with beards do very well there.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like I'm more relaxed financially because I'm better off than I was in 2019. Coming back to Twitch, like I've been very forward with the community. Like I'm not a salary guy here. Like it's a different kind of welcome back, like or different kind of like comeback contract with Twitch that I'm not going to divulge, obviously, but
Sure.
I'm not salary. I didn't get a third bag coming back. Like I
You're
chose to
working
come
for your
back.
money. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm a working grade streamer again. And like part of me prefers that because I feel like there's a driving force to that.
I
That can either
100% agree with you, man.
It could be very unhealthy, or it can make you do stuff like that you wouldn't even think of because it drives you in that direction. So, like, it was an active decision for me to not take another salary from Facebook and come back to Twitch to create and enjoy this thing that I love. And I don't want to stop doing until I'm so old, that I like have to be a VTuber at that point.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Well said.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
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 So many wrinkles on your face that the light reflects weird, so you can't even use a green screen. It's like because there's so many weird bright colors coming off your weird liver spotted skin. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. It's true.
Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you in terms of the idea that like being on salary crushes creative drive in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it might not for everybody. Some people might take that and run
it depends
with
on the person. You're 100% right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's also like you're not losing money by like necessarily losing a lot of money by not streaming. Like you fulfill your contract, but that means like you take days off. Sure, you lose subs and followers, but that contract is still like paying you like the lion's share of everything.
Yeah.
So like it feel probably I don't know about like you can answer this. Like it seemed like it would feel a lot easier like taking a day off rather than if I take a day off now I would lose money just straight up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's different, and like being aware of both those mentalities, I think gives me some good strengths for handling beyond month 1 because everything's a question mark, But yeah, definitely days off were not stressful under a contract. They were certainly not stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess a lot of that, like coming back here, I'll really have like more information on that process and how that feels in the future. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like finding the sub baseline and seeing what your earnings are actually going to be a month or 3 months in. Will
I think 3 months is kind of the test,
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's like just no launches right now, so
no, there's nothing.
Yeah,
right
I wasn't gonna bring it up too much, but I gotta say, like, of all the times to come
This
back
is
to
bad.
the platform,
everything's
if you
down.
definitely a little.
If you come back when it's a desert, then like
You're the Oasis.
Arguably, you're laying the groundwork for when that
it
other
created
stuff
its
gets
own
here.
hype.
That's true.
It was kind of like
true.
the goal, and I want like it just kind of worked out that I came back during a dry season, but I'm glad I did because next month will be whatever August is, and then when September hits, that's more excitement. That's more people coming back and being like, "Oh, you're back on Twitch," yada yada. or just enjoying new launches with us, which creates its own kind of growth. So doing this now instead of taking away from like if a Destiny launch hit or a Zelda game or or a fun event, then I think it was probably the best time.
Yeah.
too.
I will
Good
also
call.
say one thing that in the 2 years since you've been gone, one thing that I think has changed a lot is it's impossible to sit near the top because Twitch is so much bigger now. Like
Mhm.
you have people that average like 100,000 viewers just shooting the shit and maybe not doing the best content. I'm not gonna say
Sure.
just hanging out, saying stupid shit on stream, pulling 100K viewers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's so much harder to like have that big splash effect on a new release because they could just be like, oh, I don't know what this game is, but fuck it, let's check it out, and then they're sitting on the top, right?
Sure.
And that becomes a 200,000 stream in 20 minutes. And I'm like, back in the day, it used to be so much easier to just sit on top because like 10,000 was the
Yeah.
top of the site.
And we got to deal with embedders these days. That's like a whole
Yes.
other
Yeah.
ball game. Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, the embed streams for sure are also
So
a
all
thing.
sorts of fun.
Yeah. So I'm 3 months from now, I'm definitely curious. Like, we'll have to have you back on the show and be like, so you're 3 months in.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's awful, dude. It's so bad.
Yeah. I'm curious how that all goes down.
Oh yeah, we'll see, man. I'm not too super worried about it, but yeah, I mean it's always a long game, you
Right.
know?
I think you're
Just,
right.
Just
in
one random question. Do you own a hot tub?
that-
Yes. Okay. So I was
I
gonna
guess
bring this
that's
up later.
true. Yeah.
I've missed a lot of metas while
Yeah.
I was gone.
You got to play
And
catch up.
I want to catch up in one night. I want
You want to do a meta stream?
I want to do every meta from the last 3 years in like 30 minutes. And then get banned for 3 days at the end of the stream and come back to it.
That's a meta.
Can we do that?
Perfect.
That's a meta.
We got like hot
that's
tub,
part of the meta.
Yeah.
mukbang. What else we got? Like in the last 3 years.
React.
We gotta open some Pokemon cards.
Yes.
I gotta see some revealing yoga.
Okay.
ASMR.
You need to get in
Mhm.
one IRL fight.
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
Yep, absolutely.
You gotta watch some
Yeah.
movies. You can watch movies
Yep.
and get banned. That could be at the end. Yeah, just put on like
Yeah.
Forrest Gump or something. You'll be good.
gotta
I was
open
gonna.
some-
I
open
have
some
like an
Pokemon
outdoor
cards.
projector because my hot tub's outside, so I was just gonna
Yeah.
put it in the background so it's sort of blurred a little bit, so I don't get super effed.
Yeah.
But
The entire
there,
time,
you know.
you have to have the
Yeah.
VTuber tag on, as well as 3 other tags
Mhm.
that have nothing to do with your stream.
Yep.
That's a big thing.
Okay.
Yep.
Get a 3-day
ASMR.
suspension, but like act surprised when it happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, gotta do at least 5 minutes on stake.com gambling. Straight
You
up
got to
slots.
do some
Just-
gambling.
Boom,
That's
boom,
true.
boom.
That's
Yep,
big. Now.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Huge deal.
Oh, can you watch some Master Chef? That's a big one.
Okay.
That's also.
And then I think sleeping, but I'm worried
Oh,
that
and
I would
Naruto.
die.
Yes,
Yeah.
Naruto. Gotta watch some Naruto
Good
too.
old
And
Naruto.
while you're doing all this, you need to be playing Among Us with at least 3 people you don't like, and talk shit about them during the stream.
That's true. You got to do some Among Us. Forgot about that meta. And this all
And you
has
have
to be a
to-
30-minute subathon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. An
No,
uncapped
a 30-minute
subathon.
uncapped subathon.
Yes.
And just so you don't like get in trouble for it, have someone else hate raid you.
Yes.
When you do it, have someone else do it to you.
That's also true.
And the thing that they
Okay.
hate is that you are KingGothalion. So they gotta like
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and then GTRP. You got to do a little bit of that. That's right.
Oh,
God,
yeah,
there
I'm
actually
sure,
has been
sure.
a shit ton of metas.
Oh,
There's
and
been a lot of metas.
at some point you need to sleep, even if it's for a minute. Just like take a quick nap. It's like fall
Yeah.
back in your chair, do some sleeping.
Did those like make its way to Facebook at all? Were you just kind of like,
No.
I'm going to
No,
play some
I've
of this?
Oh,
I have
And-
been
and
doing
blasting-
Link to the Past randomizers for 2 years. Okay.
for at
They
least
have
30
nice
seconds.
raids there. It's crazy. They all come in and give you compliments.
For at least 30 seconds, you need to be sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends and just like
Yep.
power through a game
Oh,
really
God.
fast.
Oh, and then the
This is
big
going to
one,
be chaos.
the big one, Goth, you have to delete all your VODs.
I already did that.
You're ahead of the, you're
Because
ahead of the
I
game.
didn't know. I didn't know. I was like, is my channel going to get banned? What if I need to go back someday? So This
Oh,
is
that-
like
this
before
happened-
they had the bot, and I was
Yeah.
just like manually going through them, and then the bot came out halfway through that. Yeah, that was fun to deal with. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was.
Did we say VR? You gotta do VR chat.
Oh yeah, little
Okay.
VR chat. That's also a
Yeah,
thing.
That's
you
a
gotta
big
be
one.
like a
That's a
stripper
big
with
one.
a head of a deer or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
or
Love it.
really any furry I think would be fine, but that's
Yep.
big. That's big.
Mhm.
So
Also
you have to be
thank
doing
you.
it all through NordVPN and have that on your screen somewhere too.
Yep.
Drinking
I
G
hope my
Fuel while
mods are
going through
taking
Nord.
notes.
Oh yeah,
You know how to
gotta
play
get
chess.
G-Fuel. Gotta do some
G-Fuel
chess
as well. Yep, gotta play some chess. Oh, and while the
Mhm.
entire time you need to be shilling the brand new KingGothalion NFT collection.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Some
could be a lion with a
NFTs.
cigarette, dude.
Do a
Absolutely.
little
Yeah,
HelloFresh.
like
There
with-
you go.
Have some
Absolutely.
Mhm.
HelloFresh being made behind you at the same time.
And
That
then
all
cap it
sounds
all
good,
off
dude.
with a good session of Morbin out.
Yep. Got more about.
Better yet, just more about the whole time while also doing
There you go.
unban requests.
There you go. Yeah.
On band request. That's right. Yeah, that's God. There
We're
has
good.
been a massive amount.
I've
of
missed a
menace.
lot. Yeah, I've missed a lot of things.
I don't know if you're gonna be able to fit that. You're gonna have
You
to
actually do all that in half an hour. I'll give you 20.
That's what I was gonna say. you got your work cut out there for 30 minutes.
I could schedule it. It's gonna be. I just want
Oh.
it to be as dumb and chaotic as possible.
You got to leave
You
World
know?
of Warcraft for Final Fantasy. That's also one.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's a
shoot.
big one.
For FF14.
Yeah, but if you go like 29 minutes or anything less than 30 minutes, you get 0. Just to let you know.
Yeah.
That's the way it's gonna be.
Yeah, it's gotta be 30 or 30
That's a
or
little
more.
callback humor to the thing before.
30 seconds each one. Yeah. Man, that would
Write
be
down every
exhausting.
name of every sub on your arms, and then shirt off all across your chest.
Mhm.
Everyone who
Yep.
subs.
Or
that's written on there.
can men have their shirt off on Twitch? I think I
Yes.
heard as
I think
long as
they
you don't
can.
sexualize
Yes.
your nipples or something.
try.
You couldn't for a while, and then when they
Uh-huh.
brought back the whole okay, we're gonna let people do beach IRL and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think the men's waist
Yeah.
up kind of just came back.
Oh, yeah. There's
The whole-
Yeah, because I have killer areolas, dude. So I just want to be sure that I can show them
Like,
off on stream.
Killer
Right.
big or just killer like they're awesome?
Nah, they're just right, dude. Like if someone drew an areola, that's what it would look like. Is right there.
perfect.
You know.
You know
Yeah.
what? You describe your areolas the way I describe my manhood. Like it's just right. Like
Mhm.
is it big, small?
just-
No, it's just right. It's right.
See,
No,
I'm
it's just
actually
right.
kind of disappointed when you said killer. I thought you meant like hard as diamonds, and you could actually cut someone's neck with them. So that's
Ooh,
It depends
kinda
on where
fun.
I am emotionally, Co.
there we go.
got it.
You know.
Fair.
Got it.
Fair.
The watchword for any of that, like the dress or nudity and stuff like that, is it has to be like related to what you're doing. So if you're on a beach, yes. If you're just
Yeah.
sitting there with your top off, no.
Oh, for a male streamer,
Yes.
it doesn't fucking matter. You can
Oh,
just,
yeah, I don't
you
think
can just
that- I
hang out
think
with your
that's-
shirt off because that's what Aiden Ross's entire stream is.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think for guys, it's not so much.
Yeah. That and gambling. That's Aiden Ross in a nutshell. That's what he does.
maybe that was another one of those rules that was just specifically geared towards women. Which
It is.
sucks.
Yeah, 100%. That's correct.
It's really unfair.
It very much is.
Yeah.
So unfair.
Well, let's take a break.
Okay.
Let's take a break here, and then we'll come back. We got TwitchCon news. I think there's a little bit of gaming news, some NFT stuff probably. I'll get all that situated, and we'll come back. This is the ad break time, Goth. In case
Cool.
you're curious.
I'm gonna
So,
run to the potty real quick.
Yeah. We'll take about a 5-6 minute break, and then we'll be back with more drop frames right after this. We'll see you guys then.